All right. Good morning to a new week on the tradingology.com trading room for September 8th. We had a nice long weekend, holiday weekend here in the US. Hope you guys enjoyed it and took some time off for yourselves.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Dave. How are you doing?
Good. Nice long weekend.
Yeah. Hopefully you had some good times and took advantage of it.
The weather was very nice. Did quite a bit of relaxing and reading, actually.
Nice. Good morning, Andre. Good to see you.
Morning, Andre.
I picked my background today for my friends over in South Dakota.
That's recent?
That's last night.
Oh my gosh.
They got a half a foot to a foot of snow in the Black Hills.
Uh, you know
It's
what that means?
it's the earliest on record with over 6 inches since 1965.
Really? Wow. Is that when they started keeping records?
Probably. Fun little morning we had here.
Yeah, not totally unexpected after I saw what happened to the dollar late Friday. Yeah. The dollar index went straight up right at the end of the day, right at the close. And we've been going higher. We got oil again is getting murdered this morning. And when the oil's down and the dollar's up, stocks and crypto get killed.
Yeah, I see crypto's trying to hold on. It's definitely lost some over the weekend, but it's fighting the good fight right now.
Yeah, I mean, we've gotten, last week was kind of a rough week because we almost erased, I mean, a lot of the gains that we had the week prior to that.
Right.
So I think there's some bargains to be held.
Yeah. Dixie's up 0.3% right now.
It was up 0.40.
So it's coming back a little at the moment.
A little bit. It's running into some resistance right around that 93.40 level. If it is going into a kind of a little bit of a upward move here, we could see it at the previous support level, which is like 95.89. But I don't know. There's a little bit of resistance here, so we'll see. We'll see. Maybe if it turns around, we'll have crypto go back up. We'll have the stock market go back up, probably. I'm not sure what the correlation is here, except that I mean you got mass migration out of stocks last week, hit crypto, moved into the US dollar. That's what drove the dollar higher. If we see selling out of the dollar, we'll see a movement of that money back into crypto and the stock market. It's my theory.
And I think I read a few articles too that there was actually some pension funds were moving some money into precious metals, and that may be potentially affecting that.
Yes, because metals are down as well. So typically, when oil's down, metals are down. All of that, you know, everything gets taken out of the asset class, and they're going into the liquidity, which is the U.S. dollar. And I'm just wondering if, because there's such a high correlation between those moves, that the Federal Reserve doesn't have something to do with that as well.
Yeah, at this point, how can they not? Is the way I feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just like the market, tanking this morning and then coming in and being another little mini savior. We'll see how long it lasts, but there was definitely a lot of selling pressure being shown in the charts. But then we were down below the 2000 line, which we haven't seen in a while for the internals. But now it's starting to creep back up. And another one I found interesting was on the major index itself, is these strength levels were down around negative 100 this morning.
Yeah.
But they have since recovered. So there was definitely pressure, but now it's being relieved a little bit because that feels like is them coming in again.
Yeah.
That's just one guy's opinion, though.
No, I think you're absolutely right, though. I think I think that these, but here's where I mean, for the rest of this day, if we look at the rest of this day, you've got the internal still over that 80% level, right close to it. Unless we see it really start to sharply turn down, then we're going to have a rough ending of the day. The end of the day could be really rough. What I'm watching is the US dollar index. If it breaks through 93.44, right around that level, 93.45, if it continues to move higher from here, then we're going to have a real bad ending of the session.
Let's see if I can, where's my plane chart? And that's just a massive candle, it looks like, too. What am I looking at here? Oh, that's a future spot price. That's interesting.
Yeah, you can't.
Did they change something in toss today? I pull it.
For some reason, you cannot get a really good chart.
I thought that was working for me last week. That's interesting.
Was it? I thought you went on TradingView. So
maybe I'm dreaming. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, TradingView has a much better chart of the Dixie. For some reason, Toss just maybe they haven't subscribed to the feed, or maybe they just don't. I don't know what the deal is, but TradingView is the only one that I can see that actually represents the Dixie correctly.
We'll pull this guy back up here. There we go. That's a daily, I believe. Yep.
Yeah, so we're starting to see that little push up there. We broke that little high just previous to that on around the 24th there. Yep. It was at 93.30 something, 28. So we broke that high. If we do get into a little bit of a higher move, if you look at a candlestick chart, you'll see where that previous low, which should act as resistance, is right around 95.69.
Oh, there's an alert.
Yeah, sorry guys, I gotta take this. I'll be right back.
Okay, sounds good, Dave. While he's away, I'll take this time to also review what we saw coming, since we had the long weekend and we hadn't talked about it yet, was the spreadsheet itself. And we had a couple clues as to the downturn this morning coming up from the weekend. Is we had 98% on the MT volatility, so creeping back up close to 100, no hurting on either side. And then we see the BOP curve here with one tick on the blue, so this could definitely be leading to a range up. And looking at the swing signal turn down from the neutral, and we were close to 1500 again, not quite over on the AVS, but all those together with the swing signal, no hurting, is bullish hurting, or is bullish, I should say. And then creeping up towards 100 is definitely clues towards the higher volatility and the larger moves this morning, which we saw definitely in the futures yesterday and then the regular indexes today. So keeping those tools at play. So if you guys didn't download that, that's the latest and greatest on the spreadsheet there. And we're keeping those guys up to date. One thing I did notice too was the big jump from the flow from 95 to 100. So we're back in triple digits again in the third column here at 122. So building back up is more signs for the higher volatility coming. And then we look at, we are squeezed down again here. These are 100-point squares. So definitely higher volatility moving. And we're down on 10 points on the ES. For those that may have been trading the ES/MES strategy this morning, there was a nice little move prior to the open and one after the open. So the morning was trading up here. Once this broke this resistance with this Camarilla, there's a nice trade to the downside that you were able to exit before the open. And there was another one after the open, so waiting after those 10 minutes, when our next move down here between 33, 60, and 50 was a nice trade. And I trailed one more contract that's left on for this move down to 40. the 33.40 was closed all the profits before it turned around. I was able to watch that with the inclusion of the volume coming up, in addition to the SM signal still going down. Everything was in agreement there. So staying away from those first 10 minutes was key for this morning. Then just been a spectator since then, since we had the trading room coming up. So taking into all accounts, all the different tools that we have. And it looks like Dave's got a good call because I see he stepped away. So let me know if you guys have any questions and I'll cover them. Let's see what else is interesting here. Oh, I am working on, I'll let you guys know it's not ready for release yet, but I was working on some more, I wouldn't call it a strategy, but just another way of cluing in on leveraging micros and long-term swing trading with futures contracts. So I got some good testing going on, and I'm gonna share that with you guys in a little while once it's ready for prime time. But still got some things cooking. If you haven't got these levels loaded, this definitely helps as well. Look at where this is turning around again. These Camarillas are really on, and that's definitely what stopped it, or was a clue for stopping it this morning. The person's pivots, as you know, I did have a few people asking if they were how to use them. I use them for taking profits, which is why we had the downturn here. I took profits before this line, then I took the final profits before this line. So I don't use them to enter trades, I use them for exiting trades. And let's see. One thing I did find interesting as well is checking out the calendar is we're pretty plain until Thursday with the unemployment. So no major announcements today or tomorrow. I wouldn't say it's necessarily improving the strategy, Andre. Andre asked if I'm trying to improve it with the things I've mentioned. So it's more of, so the MES strategy is definitely fantastic for these higher volatility moves when you get those 5, 10, 15 point moves that you can capture in a very short time. I'm looking at things for more of the longer term, whether that's hours to days and leaving them holding, looking at more of a longer term, starting with a monthly to a daily chart. And these swing trades is what I'm looking at right now. So I'd say it's in addition to the MES, because the MES works best just as a day trade where you might be in as short as 5 minutes, where you take advantage of these moves. Like this 5 minute candle was a move and 10 minutes at the most. So that's a very short-term trade. So the ones that I'm working on now is more of a, how do we identify, as we're waiting, and then it comes to us and we take that trade. And similar to the MES where we wait for it to cross the levels, but different in more of a swing trade style, if you think about it that way. And you'll see as I create those charts and put the info together for what that means. I hope that helps. Then as we sit and watch just the volatility, you think it's going up. I think that half the time they just play games with people to get them in and out and shake them up and down. Because here we see the Dow was up to right around 750. It's already dropped back down. So just lost 100 points in that 5 minutes I was talking there. Awesome, Andre. Appreciate it. We'll see if it bounces and respects off this level again. So we are still building in large numbers when we see in these high volatility days, multiple hundreds, negative 500, positive 500. Now it's right around 250. In which way it's going there will help with the direction. But that's what we're looking at there. Well, welcome back, sir.
Apologies.
Oh, no worries. You will have to take a break morning for some of my golden nuggets. I was sharing with Andre that I'm working on a new little I won't call it a full system or strategy, but just another way of doing some swing trading that I think the guys are gonna like, and girls.
Oh, nice.
So the testing phases.
Okay, cool. Excellent. Well, this morning, the NASDAQ has just gotten murdered. I don't know if I don't know what you got into here, but the NASDAQ absolutely got murdered. And so I sold some Q puts. These expire Friday. I sold the 248 puts that expire on Friday sold them for 50 cents. And I'm ready to buy them back right now for 33 cents. And I made it $1,000.
Nice. I was going to say, they're at 275 right now. That's a nice little move there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, these are the 248 puts. So it would have to move down another 300 points by Friday. It could, but right now, even with a little, with the increase in volatility, the premium was sucked out as soon as the NASDAQ kind of went up a little bit.
Right.
It's very similar to the gamma scalping strategy that we have on the website. So if you guys haven't seen that, now I do. I mean, I did a good number of contracts to make that $1,000, but there's 300 points right now, and we're already down for 257 on the Qs. So,
Andreas, how much would you scale? That's a personal question, but what I'm putting together is you can use it for wherever you are in your trading. So whether it's micros, whether it's E-minis, whether it's 510, that part doesn't matter. That's a personal question you have to answer for yourself. But yes, you can start and then build as it goes, and then once targets are reached, you take your profits off.
now you're not utilizing the micro E-mini options, are you?
Not yet on this one. That's still cooking.
Okay. Just checking, because I'm all ears here for the micro E-mini options.
Although that might be a interesting fork off of that strategy for sure.
Okay.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Yeah, we mentioned the spreadsheet when you stepped away, so we did cover the market timer spreadsheet quick.
Yeah, what's really strange about that is there's no hurting. So this whole kind of, here's the issue. When we don't get any hurting, really strong bearish hurting. Now we should get some bearish hurting today, especially if we stay at these levels. Where are the internals? Yeah, the internals are just, they're just bad, right?
Yeah, they're still just nailed.
But I mean, if we don't see any follow through on the bearish hurting, we're going to go much, much higher.
Yeah.
And also we had the buy sell signal drop from a 555. So that could have been a little double top there on the
well, that's when I didn't bring that one up. Nice addition. Absolutely.
Yeah, down to 2. So we'll see if that goes negative. It kind of holds, so we'll see what happens with that. That's kind of what I'm looking at. But, the 21-27 day sum was so overbought. We're up to 23.40 there on the 21. Those are
25.
Yeah, those are big moves. So that's typically where we start to see a little selling pressure come in. I probably should have paid more attention to that when we got into the VXX trade on Wednesday. But, oh well.
Oh, it's still working out all right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down a little bit, but it's not as bad as, you would anticipate with a very large move higher.
Right.
So let's see, if I'm 5x yours, so you're probably down, what, maybe 400, 450?
Yeah, well, 450.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw a little gap up on it today, but it's already coming back down.
Yeah, and I mean, for a move that, is pretty, that was a pretty big move after we got in. And the worst case scenario is so far $450, drawdown. So.
But it's just nice that it's one you don't have to worry about and watch.
Exactly. So we shall see, but I want to take a look at the spreadsheet tonight and see how that stacks up, especially with the bearish hurting, see how much bearish hurting we really have coming in. If we fill in 2 or 3 of those sells, then it could be more serious. If we only get 1 or none, then this is a total fake out, and we're probably going to go back up. But we'll see.
Right. Well, with that ding, I have to prepare for my next meeting. A little reminder just went off.
All right, guys. Hope you guys have a great day. We will be back tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to hearing about your new strategy.
I'm working on it, guys. As soon as possible, we'll get it to you.
Awesome.
Take it easy, everyone.
Bye. Have a good day.
See you, Dave.